Now let's see this question on trains. So here we are going to involve the concept of relative speed as well. Let me read it out for you. A 200-meter long train is moving at a speed of 90 kilometers per hour, is at a distance of 100 meters from a motorbike which is moving in the same direction with a speed of 54 kilometers per hour. Now in how much time will the train meet the motorbike? So I'll just explain you in diagram what they have given, the entire data. Now they are saying that there is a train and the length of the train is given as 200 meters. Why? A 200-meter train, it is clearly given, right? Therefore the length of the train is 200 meters and it is moving at a speed of 90 kilometers per hour, right? So the speed at which it is moving is 90 kilometers per hour. This is the speed at which it is moving, and it is at a distance of 100 meters from a motorbike which is moving in the same direction. So at a distance of 100 meters there is a motorbike, right? Now this motorbike is also moving in the same direction and it is moving with the speed of 54 kilometers per hour. This is what is given, right? Now they are asking, if this is the case, when they are going to meet, right? When is the train going to meet that motorbike? So will the train meet the motorbike? Yes, definitely. If they are moving in the same direction, since the speed of the train is greater than the speed of the motorbike, at some point it is definitely going to meet, right? Now what point it is, we don't know, but then what we are interested in is finding out the time, right? So now if you observe it, meeting means the starting point of the train has to touch it, right? So which means this distance of 100 meters has to be covered by this relative speed. So we are going to use relative speed because both the objects are moving, right? And when both the objects are moving in the same direction, then the relative speed is nothing but the difference, right? So the relative speed in this case is equal to 90 minus 54. Let me convert them into meters per second. So why I want to convert them into meters per second is, since the distance are given in meters, it would be better that way, right? So let me convert this one to meter per second. So it is 90 into 5 by 18, so it is going to be 25 meters per second, this speed. And now this one is 54 into 5 by 18, so this is going to be 15 meters per second, right? So 25 meters per second and 15 meters per second. Now the relative speed is 25 minus 15, right? So 25 minus 15, which is nothing but 10 meters per second. So this is the relative speed, and using this relative speed we are supposed to travel this 100 meters. Now what is the time taken for this? Therefore the time taken for both of them to meet is equal to this distance. Let us say dg, let us say this is the dt, this is dg, the gap between them. It has to be covered using this relative speed, right? Therefore the time taken will be equal to 100 by 10, which means 10 seconds. So in 10 seconds both of them are going to meet each other. Got it? Now if the same concept has to be, if the same question is modified in such a way that instead of using the word meet, let us say will the train cross, right? Which means the train has to cross the motorbike. Then what does it mean? It means that the ending point has to reach this scooter. You see, meeting means the starting point has to meet it. Crossing means the ending point has to meet it. Then only the entire train would have crossed it. Therefore the total distance we will have to cover will be equal to the length of the train as well as this distance. This one plus this one divided by the relative speed, right? Therefore in that case the time taken will be equal to, so what is this case? Crossing, right? Earlier case was meeting, right? So dt plus dg divided by relative speed. So what is dt? dt is 200 plus dg is 100 divided by relative speed is 10. Therefore it is going to be 30 seconds. Got it? And let us say they didn't talk anything about the distance. If they are saying that both of them are actually at the same point and if they are trying to travel, which means if you assume that this motorbike is initially here, right? And if both of them have started moving, then how much time will it take for us to cross? Then in that case you have to cover a distance of only 200 meters, right? So 200 meters divided by relative speed. So in that case what you could do is dt divided by relative speed. So what is this case? This is the case when both of them are starting from the same point and moving in the same direction, right? In that case, you have to just cover a distance which is equal to the length of the train. In that case, we can assume that it has crossed. So what is it? dt is 200 divided by 10, which means 20 seconds. Got it? And the same kind of question can be asked in another way. The other way is if both of them are moving in the opposite direction. So instead of using in the same direction, here if they had used they both are moving in the opposite direction, then what you could do is relative speed is going to be addition here, right? Then the relative speed is going to be here in this case 40. So 40 meters per second. Again, the same kind of questions can be asked. First question is when are they going to meet each other? In that case, distance means gap is 100 meters divided by 40, right? Now you are going to get 2.5 seconds, right? And in the second question, they might ask you about crossing, when the train is going to cross the motorbike if they are moving in the same direction. Then you have to even include the length of the train. Now the total distance that has to be traveled using that relative speed is length of the train as well as the gap between them, which is equal to 300, which means 200 plus 100 divided by relative speed is 40, right? Therefore you are going to get 7.5 in that case, 7.5 seconds, right? In case if the train is already here, I mean the motorbike is already at the beginning of the train, and if they are both moving in the opposite direction, and if the motorbike has to cross the train completely, then again you can use the same thing, but then only 200 meters have to be covered using a relative speed of 40, right? So 200 by 40, so it is going to be 5 seconds. Got it? Okay.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%. But all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities, but whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.